Notification did not go out. How y'all doing out there in YouTube land? I don't even know if this is working. Wait a minute.
Well, I am so orange today. I feel like somebody else we know.
It's okay. I had to change my light to orange. Otherwise, I was going to be like washed out blue.
Is it pumpkin tanner?
Pumpkin spice lotion.
My beard hides my chins, and now it's gone, so now you can see them all. So I need to get a piece of tape and pull it back like this.
You gotta do like the gooseneck thing where you stick it out really
Poke
far.
it out, that way it's skinnier.
I do that just to get my hair out of the way.
Yeah.
That's how they do us. Hello, Justin's mom. Okay, people are coming in now. There it is. We'll give it a few minutes. This non-political, of course. I don't know why I keep lighting these incense and they in my throats. Jesus. I like the smoke though.
Much better.
Good Lord. Hi, Lucky Girl. Hi, Bam Bam. Hi, Valerie. How y'all doing? I have a story to tell. It's very low vibrational, so I won't tell it right now, but just know that one day it's coming.
One day.
I almost made a video yesterday, and I told myself, don't do that. I was walking to the store, and since I had my phone in my hand, I was like, you know what, let's just record this very low vibrational video. And I said to myself, I give people advice a lot when starting YouTube on what to do and not to do. And one of the things I say not to do is address trolls and just hate you just because. Don't make a whole video for somebody that don't like you.
They're not worth it.
Especially when you don't make a whole video for the people who do like you. So don't that balance is way off. It's like, I'm going to make a whole video dedicated to somebody I don't like and they don't like me, but not to the people who do like you. So I didn't do that. And then I started to make a video for the people who do like me, but then it was 6 a.m. and I was talking too loud going down the street, so I stopped. Like, I got my phone in my hand. Because it's pointing at the ground because you can't see me because it's 6 a.m. But I was like, I was extra. I was real extra. I'm like, you know what? The neighborhood watch is probably looking for me right now. So like, do this later. But on behalf of the people I fool with, at least, we do appreciate y'all. So I just want y'all to know that. Make sure that you keep that in mind. Okay. So we'll get started. First question. What are some of the challenges that our cards will tell us coming up for humanity?
I feel like this first card that fell out is calling me out specifically. This better apply to everyone. Okay. Oh, man.
No personal reading right now at this present moment. Let's not right now. Well, it may be doing the same to me. So if you're ready to go, you go right ahead.
Well, okay. I only put down 4 cards here, but the first one I have is the 4 of Cups. That we know is like discontentment and boredom and just not seeing something that's like right in front of you. And what I was picking up with this one is people are having a really hard time finding things to be grateful for, and a hard time finding things to to get joy out of. I also have Queen of Pentacles. This changes gears a little bit. there's going to be a lot of people that I think they're already doing this, but like leaving their jobs, and some are starting like their own businesses, like self-employment. And then I'm also just picking up like worries concerning job security. Queen of Pentacles, she's fine where she's sitting. She's secure. She's cool. But since we're talking about challenges, a lot of people have that uncertainty of like how they're going to pay all their bills, how they're going to feed all their kids. I have here the Fool card. This is showing me spiritual awakening, more or less. It's everybody is going through a huge time of growth and change. And it's almost like we're just being thrown into, I'm just going to call it a spin cycle of spiritual awakening, because it's intense. There's also here with the Hermit, isolation and loneliness. People are feeling a lack of connection to others. And some of that can't be helped because, regulations and safety measures and stuff, but it's still a challenge. That's what I got.
What'd you get, Toni?
Well, the first thing I got was I got the Star card for there's hope. There's a lot of hope that's available to us. But I also got the Hermit card, which is here. It's called sacrifice. So we are sacrificing a lot of things now with the pandemic and all of that, and a lot of people are suffering in silence. So the changes that we have all these memories of how it used to be. So the changes that are coming have to do with us following our intuition. I hope you can see that.
Those are pretty.
Follow the intuition. Yeah, they're beautiful. And there's an accelerated motion that's coming. So a lot of changes are coming in really, really quickly. So that's pretty much what I got. It's about the planet. The changes are about the planet. And that's what I got. There are a lot of changes coming with the planet.
Pachamama.
Pachamama.
I get the same thing. It's a lot of emotional trauma going on.
Mm-hmm.
The Lover's card is the first thing. This is us here in our community. This is here with us together, that type of thing, period, as humans. Then there's the Fool and the Ace of Cups. There's a new emotion coming, and it's very short-sighted, just like Seanna's Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card that also is like, here's your reality, but you don't want to accept it. And you are sort of turning a blind eye to it because you're disconnected from that reality. It's like, I'm kind of tired of that even. But like I said, it's a bit short-sighted. You're not really thinking of it in the greater scheme of things. The Star and the Wheel of Fortune are positive cards. This would be good luck for the future, or good stuff for the future. But that brings me back to this. You have to change your mentality. Your mentality is going to be everything. There's going to be a feeling possibly of hopelessness, which is why your futuristic cards are here. It's like, okay, well, the economy's not getting better, and the COVID's not going away, and then there's another war starting on the other side of the world, or whatever the case may be. And maybe there's a new pandemic happening that's of a different nature, and all these different types of things. So it could be very easy to fall into that despondency with that Four of Cups. It can be very easy to cross your arms and say, I can't do it. But it's very, the future is worth it. The life is worth it. So you can give up now, and you will number among many people who unfortunately do. Or you can make sure that you look at your emotions with a clearer mind. Because sometimes the tarot can be literal. Let's not be no fool now. Get yourself together. So, speaking of the future, I have another question. Is eternity a real thing, or does all things have an end?
Is eternity a real thing?
I keep getting messages coming in, but I'm just trying to shuffle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
These, I say these questions run through my mind all the time. These very weird, like, where's God and the chicken and the egg, and these questions just run through my head, and I pull cards, and it's like, why did I ever think this? And the crazy thing is, your answer is here because the tarot is going to answer you, but I'm probably not smart enough to figure this out.
Yeah.
So that's why you lean on your intuition in these in particular moments. What you get, Seanna?
Well, I mean, I do have, and I'll share with you the messages that were coming in while I was trying to shuffle. The Death card, I mean, things do end. Everything is temporary, but new things always begin right after. And it's like a cycle. Something ends, something new begins, something ends, something new begins. And what I was hearing from Spirit was, is that not eternity? It keeps going and going and going. However, the finer details of things, those don't always stay the same. Those can change. And then I have the Strength card here, and she has a little infinity halo above her head. And I'm just kind of being shown, like, that's one way you can look at it, where maybe, you know, you can think of it as, yep, some things do end and everything is temporary, or you can think of it as, yeah, something ends, something else begins, and it's just, I don't know how to explain that other than it's just one, like, great big process.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 of Wands here, and it's like there's always going to be something new on the horizon. There's always going to be something new on its way. And I'm also just getting, like, life is going to continuously move forward, no matter how it looks or how we feel about it. That's what I got, though.
What you get? You still pulling?
I got. Okay, so spiritual union. So the spirit union, love. I got the heart chakra, love, and we say that love is forever. Love is eternal. And this is the first card that I pulled, actually, the circle. So that what is that poem? A circle is round and has no end. That's how long we will be friends. That everybody writes in their yearbook. So I think we just keep, like Seanna said, we just keep going, transitioning from one form to another form, because energy has no end. It's just energy. It just moves from one source to another. So yeah, I think that's what it is. I think
That sounds good. That sounds about right.
I think it's forever.
Yeah, I get the cycle with the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles for me is the work card, so it's like a day in, day out, day in, day out thing. It goes up, it comes down. It goes up, it goes down. The Wheel of Fortune is the sum of life. It has everything. This, maybe not this in particular one, but the traditional depiction of the Wheel of Fortune is everything on there. There is life and death. There is alchemy on there. There is the name of God on there. There is the wisdom is on there. The 4 fixed signs are on. Like, it's the sum total of everything. So it keeps going. One day, life on Earth will end when, you know, the sun becomes a red boiling thing that sort of consumes the first 2 planets and then evaporates all our water, type of thing. But then that energy that we are just goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, here something may end, but it will always begin again. So it's eternity is maybe not the word for me, because I associate something like immortal, like living forever, when I hear the word eternity. Long, endless cycle is a better way to put it. So if that's eternity, then go ahead. But yeah,
You know, This is a little off topic, but you know what this really reminds me of? There's an episode of Futurama where the professor builds a forwards time machine and they can't go back. And one of them bumps the dial and they travel too fast and they reach the heat death of the universe. And so they watch everything, all the planets, all the stars, everything shrink away and die. And then it explodes into a brand new cycle. I don't know why that came to mind.
But that's what they
That's
say.
how it works.
Basically, in the Big Bang, is it's all in one spot, and then it blew up, and now here we are. So it was one thing, and it became another thing, and so it'll just keep doing that endless cycle. Makes sense to
We're
me.
just stardust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So another spiritual question.
Yes.
I was a short story. I was in this house. I told this to y'all earlier on another stream. And in this house, there's stairs on the other side of this wall. And you can hear when people are going up the steps because apparently this was built in like 1717. So they all creak and you can hear people going up the stairs. And so I'm in here, it's quiet. And I hear somebody walking up the stairs, but there's nobody in the house. So I'm like, okay. So I got 400 knives and things going on in here. So I'm walking around the house like Chuck Norris, I'm like, who's in this house? So I sit down again, and now they're walking around up here. And I'm like, okay. So I know that has to be like this wandering spirit or something like that, because there's no physical person in the house. And so I did a reading, and I had Jen do a reading too. And it's basically a woman trying to get to the other side. And so since that's something I can help her do, she came to me. So my question is, how do spirits find us? How do they know what we can do, what we can't do? Like, how do we know a medium is a medium?
That's a good
That's a really good question.
Really good question. Not that I'm surprised, but really good.
But I always
It is
wondered, how do they find it? Like, are we emitting something?
I think about that a lot.
Like, oh, you smell like me.
All the time.
Maybe you smell like peanut butter. They like peanut butter.
My God. Okay. I got something interesting. Some souls, for whatever reason, I don't know why I'm getting it for Page of Wands this time, but the word permission comes up. Some souls don't realize that they don't need like anybody else's permission to cross over.
Yes.
But some people, that they just kind of get stuck there. We have people in life who don't move forward because they think they need external validation to do so. So I do have here the World card. It's almost like the word I'm getting is scanning. It's almost like they scan the area around, almost like a little radar. Like, okay, let's see if there's anybody here who has their third eye or crown chakras open. And I also pick up that once you reach the spiritual realm, it's a lot easier to see other people's energy, their auras, to get a feel for who they are and their kind of temperament and their personality. And with this Temperance card, they seem to be drawn to people that they feel safe around. I think for the most part. In some cases, I know some spirits just get like really, really desperate. It's like almost like I need anybody who can understand me, but they're really like drawn to those who they think will help or might be able to help.
What you get to?
So the first card I got was the Star card, the Hope card. So they are attracted to the light that you, the reader or the person emits. And this is the throat chakra. They want to have a conversation with you because something happened. They lost their lives. But you have an intuition that they want to use in order to connect and then cross over. Wait a minute, it gets better. They have the memories of all of their loved ones. They want to have a conversation with maybe so that they can then move on, so they don't become shadow. So they're attracted to the light that you emit, the light that that you have in your aura. So that's how they're attracted to you. That's fun.
I get the Two of Swords. I don't think it's necessarily a conscious thing to where we're listed in the phone book as medium and all that type of stuff. Like they know who to call and who to go to. It's kind of like an energy field. You walk around with a certain energy field. Your spirit is already connected to the divine and all that type of stuff. But there are certain things that are stronger within you based upon maybe even your upbringing or whatever that is not as strong as in other people. So if, for instance, one person who is aware of their spirit or their spiritual gifts may be a really good medium, while the other person who could be a good medium is more of agnostic. And so they don't believe in a spiritual realm, but that doesn't mean that spiritual realm does not believe in them. So it's like one person is a little stronger connected because they're actively pursuing such a thing. And so they know that, okay, this energy field is coming off of them. So I can go to them and they can actually help me. Sometimes. Now, there is the revelation and then the wheel of fortune. Sometimes you do not get lucky because sometimes the dead come to people who do not understand why you're coming to me. And so, yes, I may be admitting this. And yes, I may be acknowledging that these sort of things happen. Like, oh, I see my grandmother, I see whoever, I see the dead person, period. But I don't know why. I don't know why they're coming to me. I don't know what's happening. I can't deal with this. Stop it. Break out the sage, you know. I think it's your energy field. It's admitting, and they know how to go to it. That's what I think. Okay.
That was a really good question.
I like that one.
Commercial break. So this damn thing. I like this thing. You don't write on this paper so well.
Who is that?
That's Bones Mahoney.
Mr. Bones.
What is today? October the 22nd. So we are
Already.
live. Tomorrow I will be live with Joanne and I almost call that child Susan. That is not her name. Joyce. And then 30th, me and Seanna will be live on her channel with Weird Questions at 1
Halloween special.
1 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Eastern. So y'all make sure you are there. Toni, you are live with Adrian Tuesday?
Yes.
Tuesday at 2?
Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern time.
6:30 Eastern, yes.
Eastern, yeah. That's be 3:30 West in the West. Yeah, we're playing music. She's going to break out her bowls, and I'm going to have my drums and my rattles and my bells.
It's going to be so fun.
We're going to balance chakras.
So that, and we did have a lot of questions about how do you know if your chakras are out of line and all that type of stuff. So make sure you are there at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, and they can definitely help you with that. Okay. The word I used was demonic, but it's not what I mean to say. So why are some spirits not evil, but why do they haunt places? Why do they do bad things? If the spirit is light, then why are you doing unlikely things? Why are you doing evil things? Why are you doing bad things?
I mean, first of all, I have here Queen of Cups. This always reminds me of somebody who keeps all their feelings and all their pain to themselves. Somebody who maybe in life, well, the next card right beside it is that of struggle and suffering. Somebody who in life really, really struggled and had so much trauma, but they didn't get help for it. They realized that not everything magically goes away after you die. There are some things that you still have to deal with. Some of them don't want to deal with it. they don't know how. They don't see any way out of their situation, or they didn't expect anything to happen after death. And now it's like, what the hell do we do now? I do have that. It's now Spirit's telling me that people in life do this. You know that saying, or hurting people hurt people. People who have pain tend to project their pain onto others, and that whole kind of thing. That happens in the spirit realm too sometimes, and it's unfortunate. But it's almost like some people just don't realize like their true nature, which is love and light, and that they deserve the chance to heal and to gain wisdom about their experiences and cross over into somewhere that's peaceful. A lot of them, it's like, well, I'm struggling and I'm suffering and I'm scared, so you have to be too. They don't want to feel like they're the only one that's scared. And that is what I have regarding that.
What you getting, Toni?
Well, the first card I got was the Seven of, I think this is the Wand, Seven of Wands, standing your ground. This is in the past. This is what they knew, right? This is who they were. And, why change now? The truth of it is they don't want to change. Why change? Because otherwise they'll be bored and disconnected to whatever's going on. All this whole harmony and love stuff is for the birds. Come on. They don't want balance. Emotionally, they're withdrawn. They just don't have it. That's just all the obstacles and stuff have made them, stuck in that place. They're just stuck in that place of, I don't really want to be nice because nobody was nice to me. So why should I? So yeah, I can.
There is like lost energy, is what I heard. It's not that they're evil. It's like they're kind of unwashed and they're not connected to the other side. That's why they're still here when they should be elsewhere. They don't have the clarity. It's the Ace of Swords. They don't have that truth, true in their being either. The Fool and the Six of Swords, they have not crossed over. They have not transitioned. There is, like it, love it, hate it, or leave it. There is no hell for bad people to go to. It's more of a vibrational thing. There's layers to that, and you're just not. You're not joined with the light like the rest of us, type thing. You got some things you need to learn even in your spiritual life. But so Hitler is not burning in heaven somewhere, unfortunately. But it's like the Fool and the Six of Swords. They have not crossed over to sort of wash that in. Seven of Wands. So right now they're defensive because they can't cross over. They can't be, they're not clean as your spirit is, or as someone else's spirit is who has rejoined the light. So they are basically looking for harmony, and they have a very destructive way of doing so. It's like they want a togetherness, but it's kind of like trolls. They don't really mean to be disruptive. They just want to be a part of something, and they don't know how.
It's just like the bully in school, or the troublemaker in school who's like, I don't really know how else to react, so I'm just gonna act this way because it gets me attention. So
and be destructive. Meanwhile, as I say to the trolls many times, all you got to do is say hi.
Yeah,
come on.
168 people in here, one of them will say hi to you. There's like 3 Canadians in here. I know they'll say hi to you.
True though.
Their manners tend to be a little better than ours.
They're more polite than we are.
Yeah, Americans are like, why are you saying hi to me? Like, what do you want? What are you selling? I don't need insurance right now. Sorry.
My car's extended warranty is fine.
Yeah. Southerners maybe, but the Northeasterners, they know. Look at the ground, look at your phone, don't say hi to me. Okay, so I was watching a YouTube video. It was all of like 10 seconds long. of this dog that was having a nightmare because its legs were kicking and all that type of stuff. So the first question was, are all dreams messages? And if so, if we get a yes, then the second part of that question is, why do dogs and cats, or let's just say animals, why do animals dream? If they're messages, what do you want them to do? Get up and cleanse the house? Like, what do you want the dog to do with this spiritual message? Like, it can't come to us.
3 a.m. zoomies. That's what they want to do.
Like, what do you expect? Like, why do they dream? I guess, but are all dreams messages?
I have so many aces. Holy crap. Sorry, I like so many major arcana here. Well, I'm gonna take the presence of 3 aces to be yes, yes, and yes. Now, Spirit wants me to relay that everyone's definition of a message could be kind of different. But absolutely, dreams are one of the most effective ways for Spirit to get communications across to us, because, I mean, usually when we're sleeping, we're not distracted. We're calmed down enough that I think we're just more open and more receptive. So yeah, okay. Sometimes the message, I have the Emperor. This is like showing me somebody giving instructions. Here's what we're going to do. So some dreams, they have instructions for us. They have messages for us. Some dreams help us to decompress, and the message could just be, hey, we're helping you to process everything that happened today, or you had a really crazy week, or you have a lot of stress. You know, it's like the message here is that your struggle is valid and you deserve healing, and you deserve to process what's going on around you. Sometimes I think the message is just like a simple, well, you know, this is the subconscious mind speaking. Hello, hi. We're just helping you to sort of like, yeah, I guess process is the right word to use. Just your everyday life, just so that it doesn't overwhelm your conscious and subconscious all the time. That's what I have, but definitely yes, messages everywhere.
Sounds good. I don't know what this first card means. I think dreams help you work out problems. That's why we dream. That's the messages that we get in dreams through our crown chakras. Gives us a spiritual strength. And we get wisdom as we dream. We work out mental conflicts, and we work out things that we want, desires, and things that we need. So it really translates into our base chakras and our sacral chakras, because that's where we create the things that we want. We use that fire and we use that creative energy to create things that we want, so that, you know, when we wake, we're ready to go. We're moving through all of those problems and stuff, and so that we can move into our next iteration of who we are.
Okay. So why do animals dream? What is the point?
What's the point?
And I pulled cards and don't know still.
And why are they always running?
I get for why do they dream? The Two of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Hermit. It is a method.
Why do I have so many swords?
It's mental. It is a message, but I don't know what the message is. There is something about security, your day-to-day life, that you'll still be liked and loved and cherished and all that. You'll be elevated, but not all of their dreams are happy ones. Like I said, the video I saw, the dream, the dog was having a nightmare. So what is the purpose of the nightmare? The nightmare, more than likely, is just imagination of your mind, kind of like ours are sometimes. That some things just torment you. that are going on in your receptors. I hate to say this, but that's kind of a part of life. That's my answer.
It is, though.
It's like, that's not the answer I want, though. I want a concrete why, but I'm getting because. That's kind of like what I'm getting. Is like, why do they dream? Because why? Because I said so. That's they are messages, but I mean, I give up. There you go.
You know what? I have here 6 of Pentacles. It's like animals dream sometimes for the same reasons that people do. To, well, yeah, work through all of the sensory information that they got during the day or during the week or whatever. I have the rest of my cards here are swords. And one thing I have is, okay, just sometimes this is just what the brain does when the body is resting. Everything is still firing. Just because your body's resting doesn't mean your whole brain shuts off. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not like I don't even know what the right term, a scientist or somebody who researches like why we dream and stuff, as fascinating as it is. I don't know the actual physical reasons why the brain does that. But sometimes I pick up that it's also to let the animal know, like, hey, you're sleeping right now. And this kind of leads into sort of my next thing. Testing the survival instinct, like letting the animal know, hey, you're sleeping, you should still be on guard. Maybe you should wake up and look around and make sure you're safe. I picked that up for some animals, and I think it must depend, especially ones that live in the wild. Like it's so much more dangerous there, and they're so vulnerable, while they're resting. Another thing I have is there's maybe trauma that they're processing. Animals, we know that animals can have trauma. It could be, a rabbit that just narrowly escapes being scooped up by an owl or something like this. That's still terrifying for them. Mm-hmm. And this trauma might replay itself in some of their dreams at night, and it goes right back into working that survival instinct. I do also have that eventually they can process trauma. And for some reason, I guess dreaming really helps animals to do this, and to help them kind of to just move forward in life, because their focus is kind of on the here and now. They can't really stay preoccupied with, oh my God, there was the time I almost got scooped up by an owl. It's like you can't stay in the hole for the rest of your life. You do have to go out and get some food. And dreams kind of help them to realize, okay, we're processing this. This did happen. I'm going to be really careful from the future, but yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I only got movements, decisions, and choices. It's what they look at when they're dreaming. But I just, what I get from watching my dogs is that there's always a field somewhere when they're sleeping.
Run away.
There's trees and there's something to chase, and let's go for it.
At least they're happy. So, my next question. Okay. I said this before in another stream. The sure mark of a fool, as they say, is a person who dismisses the thing that they don't understand. Instead of trying to understanding, you just say, that's not true, or it doesn't exist. Kind of like, the spiritual realm. There is no God because I've never seen it. Okay, then maybe look for it. Maybe find a way to look for it. Everything is not visible under a microscope. Everything is not visible in a telescope. Some things you can only feel from the inside, and it's there. You can't see the air, but you have ways to detect that it's there. So, my question, one day, we did a reading on this a long time ago. Science may one day find a way for you to communicate with the other side. They may find a way to detect an actual ghost and a spirit and where the veil is in order to talk to whoever's on the other side. So if one day in the future we can find a way to do that, will the need for psychics and mediums become obsolete? That's my question. Like, we don't need them because you can just go to the Walmart and get ghostometer and talk to grandma.
Ghostometer.
You don't really need the medium because you can just go, the gas stations, Amazon, so it's.
That's going to be on Amazon tomorrow, the Ghosto Reader.
2-day shipping. Now, whether it works or not, then you'll have to read the reviews. But yeah.
I have something really interesting. Okay, so eventually in the future, justice is kind of like, to me, this is the card of problem solved. Things are put back into balance. The thing that, the challenge was communicating to the other side via some kind of technology. I do think that at some point, people will figure this out or have figured this out. And Hierophant, this is just reminding me of the spiritual realm just as a whole, as its own, I guess, kind of thing. One thing that's coming to mind for me, I'm seeing all of these binary numbers, just all these zeros and ones. And binary can be translated, of course, but we can get the messages across this way. And there's part of this that I'm going to answer without cards. I really don't think that mediums will be completely obsolete because these machines can't relay feelings. They can't relay, like sometimes a medium can channel the person on the other side and end up using their mannerisms of speaking or using like their kind of slang that they always used when they were alive on Earth. They can communicate like, well, for example, if I'm doing a reading for a client, I often pick up feelings of extreme gratitude and pride from the loved ones. A machine can't necessarily relay that. The machine can't receive that kind of like feeling from spirit and relay it. They might be able to literally spell it out, but it's not quite the same as a human intuition.
Where'd you get to?
I got... So I long story short, transformation the question was, will psychics and mediums be needed? Because people in the future may be able to do their own psychic work. So yes, that will happen in the future for a lot of people. And that will cause a transformation for mediums, for some mediums and some psychics. But I think that will always be an alliance between the two, client and psychic. So I think, like you said, there's no way to really read everything. The machine can't read everything. So this is the outcome card, Solitude, which is the Hermit. So I think that people will always go to seek out, look for guidance from guides and psychics.
I think even if you had a machine that you could hear the voice or see the person from the other side, I asked, would psychics and mediums be obsolete? And I got a huge no. In fact, I got the devil.
So did I.
Psychics and mediums, there is security and understanding. Forewarned is forearmed, as I always say. There is, say, for instance, you talk to somebody on the other side. They may not even relate to you or may not even be able to relate to you everything they feel. Who's to say how long that connection would even be? There is a deeper thing to spiritual connection and spiritual conversation than anybody's machine will ever be able to do. There's a lineage that goes so far back. Like, people often think, okay, my ancestors, and you're thinking 1907, like 1907 was the beginning of time. It's like your ancestors stretching into the BCs. Like this is, there is a connection that a psychic and medium can can pick up. Not to mention, a lot of psychics and mediums know how to get rid of bad spirits, bad energy. They know how to, at the very least, cleanse a space, a house, this type of things. They're not just, let me tell you your future type of thing. They are people who can help you with your energetic health. So it's like this machine that can talk to the other side. Okay, fine, you talk to the other side, but what about the stuff that's going on in your regular life? So no, they will always be needed.
I'm just picturing now a fog machine, but it's blowing out sage smoke. Or you could change different smells of incense or whatever.
Amazon.
Or like one of those air fresheners you plug in and every couple hours it goes and sprays
Yeah.
out with sage.
Time release sage. Oh Lord Jesus. Somebody gonna make it. We laugh,
Better
but
get on
somebody made Post-it notes, and next thing you know, they retired in the Caribbean somewhere.
Oh, and then Shireen in the comments is saying sage against the machine.
Sage a machine.
Totally.
I like that. I like that. That's my kind of humor.
Oh, I have to keep that card. Okay. See, spiritual connection. So, okay, so it answered me already. But let me read the question first. Can a soul really be sold or given? You know how we say, as a figure of speech, you sold your soul to the devil. Can that actually happen? Not necessarily to the devil, but just can it be sold or given? Is it possible? Mine already answered me, but I'm going to pull anything. Oh, there's the devil. Hold on. I see. Okay.
Well, okay. Page of Wands. I actually have here like there's a reason we have this saying, and it's to help us to understand this concept of a person. Now I have the Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It's almost like somebody throwing away their better judgment, their morals, what they know is right or wrong, and throwing away their potential best path in life or most loving path in life for, well, Pentacles here, like gain, to receive gifts or to receive money or to have influence, to receive power. And it doesn't mean that they, went to the devil and said, hey, let's fill out one of your contracts and, I'll trade my soul for $2 billion of a space program or whatever. Like some people get all of their wealth from doing unethical and sometimes awful things. Some people do, not everyone, but some. And in that kind of way, it's like they've sold their soul. They've thrown out what they know is right or wrong for something that is temporary and will come to an end.
Well, as a shaman, I have to say that I already know the answer is that you cannot sell your soul. You can lose pieces of your soul spiritually that sort of leaves you feeling incomplete, like there's a hole or something's missing. And that is part of the soul that you have lost along the way. Maybe that part you have lost in trauma or in lost love or something like that. Heartache and loss can facilitate a trauma, which can break off a piece of your soul. And you can, it's not gone, it's still there. You just have to retrieve it and pull yourself together. So with that, it is possible to lose pieces of your soul, but the person the shaman or the healer would be able to go inward and into the spirit realm and collect that piece that was missing in the spirit realm. to find balance, to balance out your soul. So that is what I get. You cannot sell your soul.
You're stuck with it.
You're stuck with it, stuck with all the pieces.
It's not yours to give nor sell. No, not to mention nobody can actually buy it. Like, how do you ring it up? Does it have a barcode?
A receipt.
So this flew out before, like I said, before I even asked the question. Page of Swords, which would be no for me. But right above it is it can be corrupted. You can, well, it's more like what Seanna was saying in combination with Toni is the ethics can be corrupted. You yourself, like for instance, okay, you are a spirit being with the soul in a fleshy body, all that type of stuff. You can corrupt your mentality. You can corrupt your ethics, your morals, those type of things. You will never feel whole, because I guarantee you, when there's something in your life, if on the outside we can look in and say that people like Donald Trump or he sleeps well at night, we don't know that. We don't know what goes on. I don't care how many magic cards we pull. You don't know exactly what torments this child. So there is a part that is corrupted that can be uncorrupted. There is redemption for all people. I always say this: we as humans will give up on you. The spirit will never give up on you. That's not what it does. So we can be corrupted, but we can be uncorrupted. But you cannot sell your soul. Okay, so big question. In the Bible, humans have said that they've seen God. One person said that he went to heaven and was allowed to come back so that he could tell everybody, it's pretty nice up there. So
You can go.
it's like gold streets and things. So it's like, how have human beings, ever seen God? I don't mean have they seen him in a tree or in a bee and the flowers and the water and the power of the ocean, and I've experienced God. Have you seen physically the light, the fire, the whatever that is the God? Have you seen it? Have humans ever seen it?
I think we have. I think we see multiple facets of God, and I'm trying not to go into the trees and the sparkles on the snow and the flowers and the children, but I was kind of thinking about this question earlier, and an answer that sort of came to me was like, you see reflections of yourself in the mirror and in car doors and on water and things like that, but that's not like really you. You're seeing a reflection of you. It's kind of hard for you to actually see yourself from this different outside perspective. But I do have like multiple aspects of God. I think people have seen it, but they're trying to rationalize it with the human mind. What the heck did I just look at? And I'm thinking especially people who have had near-death experiences and come back to relay their first-hand accounts of what they saw. I have here like absolute love, peace, and joy and light. They see this like beautiful bright light. But you know what? I have 5 of Wands here. There's a conflict, inner conflict. Maybe they don't know how to describe what they've seen, or the words that we have in human languages just aren't adequate to describe like the absolute glory that would be God. But I really do think people have seen God. They just might not know or might not have the right words to describe it in a way that we can completely understand.
I agree. Well, I mean, my cards agree. I mean, I have no way of knowing. I don't know. But we take a journey, and it happens when we are in between time, inside and outside of time. We're on the time we're in between the time space continuum thing, whatever. And God is like a burst of light. And you see this guy or this person right there at the top of this mountain.
Very
This
small.
person went to the top of the mountain. They saw God in whatever form God appeared for them. So I say that we see God in ways that, I don't know, Spirit wants us
Like that
to
makes sense to us.
Yeah, in
Like the
ways
way
that
I
makes
see God
us
might be different than the way you see God.
right. You know, like, and I know, Johnny, you don't want to hear God's in the trees, God's in the water, God's in the flowers and the
but
it's the truth.
My mind wants everything to be complex because it's fun for me, for me to think about things in a complex way. Like I have watched this scientist, Neil deGrasse Tyson, talk about why the sky is blue like 1,400 times. And it's more complex than I thought it was. And I like that. And that's why I keep watching it. And then he has another thing about color, how the green leaf is every color except green. And that, like, my mind leaked out of my head so much. Like, it was, I like things to be complex. Like, I wanted to know what God was. We did the reading, us three, we did the reading, and I got he was light. So it's kind of like, sometimes, my dear child, it really is that simple. And I got Judgment and the Hangman. You need to look at this in a different way. What is the other way I need to look at it? My very first card, Temperance. He really is in all things. This is the card of balance. Water, dirt, yin, yang, push, pull. It really is the flowers and the trees and the people you see. Like this is the evidence of the light. You're born from the light. So why would everything that you see not be a representation of the light? It's like when you see a person, there's evidence of parrots somewhere.
Yes.
So when you see trees and flowers and oceans and mountains, there's evidence that there is something that pushed all that stuff up. And so, yeah, it really is. I don't know why I say down. I sound down, but I'm not. It really is that simple. Tempered, like bring it back, like become balanced again. So it really is that simple. I don't like simple things. I do like simple things because I don't like a stressful life. I don't have a stressful life. But Lord Jesus, give me for a person who hated math, I do like things to be complicated. So.
It feels like you would really do well in quantum physics. Because those are the kind of questions, you know, you kind of ask in that realm of physics. That whole thing.
While I'm talking, I 1,000 deaths. It keeps flying around me. I swear. There's a gnat. There's your evidence of God right there. There's his sense of humor. This is why when we laugh and joke on these type of things, and people get offended, oh my God, you shouldn't laugh. That's so. Go away. Because God has a sense to where he can create something this little that flies in my face like it's all big and bad. And then I keep swinging at it. I know something is laughing at me up there. I know it's like you can't hit it, ha type of thing.
I can't remember which comedian it is, but he talks about how he doesn't have a problem with like telling jokes like about God because he's not making fun of any particular faith or anything. He's like, well, God knows everything, so he knew I was going to do this. We can't have a God, no matter what your religion. You can't have a God that was like, I was not aware of this. I'm a supreme being and I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh, I wish I remembered the guy's name. It was so funny.
If you don't know, we are in trouble.
Right.
I mean, okay, so the question is Spirit's view of war. How does spirit view war? Now, you may think right off the bat, war is horrible. Spirit would hate such a thing because it's conflict and fighting and blah, blah, blah. But some wars are fought to get out of the tyranny of other human beings.
Mhm.
So, what is Spirit's view of war? I mean, you would need war if we weren't treating each other so horribly. But since we did, some of us had to fight wars. So, what is Spirit's view of such a thing? Of war?
Okay, I think I know what these cards are telling me. Now, we think that humans are the only species that does this, but we're not. There are actually other species in nature that will fight over territory. I think gorillas do it. Like, there are lots of animals that fight over territory, and when people do it, it's considered war.
Yeah.
Now, what I have, Two of Pentacles, Spirit's saying, like, there's a couple of reasons. Like, it depends. There's a couple different views that they have on it. It depends on why it's being fought. Because sometimes, like you were saying, Johnny, we have to break free of other people's tyranny. Sometimes you've got to stand up for yourself and advocate for yourself, or advocate for somebody who can't do it for themselves. I do have the words last resort keeps coming in. Spirit would prefer that we saved it as a last resort instead of the first thing that jumps to our mind. Because the priority should be on retaining peace and order, trying to maybe talk things through or work things through in some kind of diplomatic way. And if that can't be done, then sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But it depends on why it's being fought.
That's right. What'd you get, Toni?
Well, the first card I got was the Chariot, which is the card of war for some people, crossed by the Eight of Wands. I'm looking at a lot of sevens for some reason, and death. That comes into play. The Knight of Pentacles is an offering. They would rather us offer each other the tokens of peace. But if we can't have that, then we got to bring in the truth and then try to stabilize in whatever way that we can. This is the Four of Pentacles. I can't see these cards. The Four of Pentacles. We stabilize where we can. So wars are fought to destabilize. Wars are fought to stabilize. So the preference is stabilization, but we're human. So and we don't use very much of our brain. So.
There is the Ace of Pentacles here. There's the Rose of Sharon and the Lilies of the Valley. So there is your sort of Eden-like atmosphere. This is your offering, your offering of peace. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But beyond the hedge is an obstacle. Which means once you leave the confines of your opportunity, you face obstacles instantly. Mm-hmm. This is kind of the human way. I get the strategist, the war chief. The emperor is represented by Mars. Mars is the planet of war, or the god of war. Then there's the Five of Swords. This is your fighting, your advantage taking. So the problem comes in when this peace is not sustainable. If we are 50-50 and we are both of the same mental accord that we would like to remain this way, then fine. The moment you introduce, you have 50 I have 50. I would like to have 51. Then war starts. Because then greed comes into play. And then you want more than you were allotted. And then there's life, and then there's negativity. And so Spirit's view of war is sometimes necessary because people do not know how to treat other people like people. And treat them as commodities. And I want to rule over whatever it is that you do. So it's one of the necessary evils, unfortunately. And Spirit knows that, of course, Spirit is not going to tell you to go out and bomb a country or to stay there 25 years and say you're fighting for peace with machine guns and tanks. So it's one of them things to where war itself, you have to look at the why and then figure out whether it's necessary. Now, commercial break. Before we leave you, got a whole notebook full of stuff that I got myself into. The 23rd, I will be live with Joanne Eisen on her channel called Reach the Unlimited with Joanne. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then 3 p.m. Eastern, I will be live on my channel with Joyce. On the 24th, which is Sunday, we will be live with Lino Rodriguez. And the 25th is our first spiritual talk. So on the 29th, we will be talking, the 25th at 7 p.m., we will be talking about spirits, angels, guides, and ancestors. And so that will be, it's no readings or nothing like that. It is just conversation. So the 29th, we will have one more of those on healing energy. And we will be having that with Jody, Jen, and some other people. I didn't write the rest of their names. And that'll be at 7 p.m. on my channel as well. I have all that in my community post if you want to go and check it out. On the 30th, I will be live with Seanna Rose Metaphysical on her channel at 1 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be doing a Halloween edition of Weird Questions. So I got some more of the talks planned, but they're all on the community posts. They're going to have to do it every 2 weeks or so. So we shall leave you with some good news. Can we do it and see what good news is coming for mankind? What good news?
The first thing I have, Spirit is saying with Five of Swords, your struggle is not for nothing. There is you can always find some kind of value or some kind of wisdom in any of your circumstances. It's not for nothing. We're not just struggling because Spirit's like, let's make everybody in the world sick and make everybody else in the world isolated and see what happens. That's not really how it works. There is a purpose. Now, Wheel of Fortune. This is a card that shows me when somebody is on the right track. It sounds really weird because we are going through some really devastating things on our planet. But I think as far as humanity and our evolution spiritually goes, we are on the right track. I pick up that this struggle that we're going through with the pandemic and other stuff in the world, this is supposed to bring us closer to each other. There's going to be a more genuine desire to help each other and to show respect and kindness. And I like that in future generations, eventually more priority is going to be placed on making decisions out of love and care as opposed to selfishness. Now, of course, it's not always going to be 100% perfect because people are people and they do dumb stuff. But at least that like our collective attitude will start to shift to valuing love and valuing each other. I have here 9 of Cups. This is like satisfaction. Things are going to be okay. And we are going to find things in our lives to take joy in and to find like fulfilling things in our lives that we can find satisfaction in. And Spirit's saying like it might be stuff that we've never thought to really look at before. But as far as our spiritual evolution goes, we are on the right path. And they want us to know like that is good news. Melody in the chat says, yes, I feel we're starting to be more caring collectively, and I agree.
So this is where we are now. We're in this disruption, this tower moment. What's crossing us is the hermit. You know, we're all going to have to go. We're all doing that inner work right now because that's what we have to do. We have to sacrifice who we thought we were for who we are or who we want to be. So we have to do that and create partnerships, work through all of our emotional losses and try to find some balance. Now, I also got the Wheel of Fortune card for my outcome. And with that comes the heart chakra. We are going to be more loving people, hopefully. Our spiritual strength is raising. We're raising the roof of spirituality and positive movements forward. But yes, that card of destiny, that Wheel of Fortune, is the outcome.
I start with the world, which is Earth for me in this in particular reading. Believe it or not, the Earth is appreciative. If you have not checked out Seanna's last video, make sure you go and do that about Earth's vibration.
Yes.
I get the... Okay, let me start with the bad.
Might as well.
We need to use our intelligence to find answers operationally in our governments, plural, not just responsible ones, but all of them. They need to make sure that whatever, like for instance, we don't need, I said this before, and this is a bit of a rant, so I'm gonna go on it. Just because there's an opposing view does not mean we need to have a conversation. If you believe the Earth is flat, I don't need to talk to you because you need to go and find a book to read. I need to talk to the people who believe it's round, and then we can start from there. I don't need to talk to people who deny climate change. I need to talk to the people who say there's climate change, and then we can start a political argument from there. Like, what do we do about the climate change? I got this set of ideas, you have that set of ideas, and we can meet somewhere in the middle. We don't need to talk to the people who are just throwing their hands up or the middle finger at that. So there is something that we need to use our wisdom. This is searching for it. This is having it. We need to use our intelligence. There is no legitimate reason to push back on climate change. So the only legitimate argument is, what do you do about it? Because you can have your set of beliefs, like I said, and I'll have mine. But to deny it is irresponsible. So you use your intelligence, use your wisdom, search for the answers, work together. It's the only planet, I don't care how many billionaires go into space. Let me bust a bubble on that one too. Space is only 62 miles in the air, and then they bring you back down. You don't go to the moon. You don't go into outer space. You go to the stratosphere and you come down. So you didn't really go anywhere. You basically took a big roller coaster that went farther than the rest of us. That's all. You didn't go get to planet B. There is no planet B. You can't live on Mars. There's no air. There's no water. You need both of those things, and they're already here. So take care of the place that you're on. Now, the Earth here is saying that the energy it feels is a positive one. There is community. There is actual love. This is the card of life. This is the card of abundance. This is the card of health. So it's feeling better that people actually care. It is feeling better that people are actually doing something. And so even though we see on this large scale, it seems like people are not doing anything, but yes, people are still working for the planet. People are actually doing good things for the planet, and the planet is going to respond. Now listen here. Okay, humans, yes, we have caused a lot of stuff, but we are the caretakers of this planet and the only ones it has. So there is a relationship. It's not like it's trying to kick us off, even though scientifically it is, because it's spinning and trying to fling us off, but we're kind of stuck. So we have this relationship. It needs us and we need it. So we are still doing something good, but we do need to get our act together on this thing. So that's all I got for y'all. Thank you, Toni. And what you got? It's the Earth Keeper. See, we are this. It's our planet that belongs. It kind of belongs to us. We belong to it. We come from it. We are dirt. We are star. We are mountain. We are tree. We are all those good things and all those good things too. So thank you, Toni. Thank you, Seanna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
And I will see y'all on tomorrow. Today is Friday. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. here. Me and Joyce will have a conversation, so there won't be any reading on that one either. And then I will be on Joanne at 5, and then I'll be Sunday at our regular time, and then on to Seanna's on the 30th. So I will see y'all all then. Like I said, all those dates and stuff is on my community post. So y'all have a good night.